Did you know that a quarter of China's land has turned into desert? Dust storms from these deserts travel all the way to Japan and South Korea. This may sound alarming, but China has managed to handle its vast deserts through ambitious megaprojects. Today, China is digging up billions of tons of sand to create something green that spans an area of 193,000 square miles. However, while these grand projects aim to combat desertification, they also create new challenges. In the last few decades, over 13 million square miles of land worldwide have become desert, roughly 40% of the Earth's land surface. Over half of this desertification is in Asia and Africa, home to the most populated regions on Earth. Among these, China stands out, particularly in the north, where the land is so dry it seems suffocating. Despite efforts to restore the land, overconsumption of water by factories, agriculture, and urbanization has caused rivers like the Yellow River to run dry for months. In 1949, China's forest cover was only 8%, and it continued to shrink due to overgrazing and uncontrolled logging. As a result, soil lost its nutrients and could no longer support crops, leading to devastating consequences. Today, nearly a quarter of China's land is desert, including the Gobi Desert, which stretches across northern China and Mongolia. Desertification spread to nearly the size of Alaska by the 1980s, creating one of the 6 largest deserts on Earth. But since the late 1970s, China has launched a series of mega-projects to revive dead land. The most famous of these is the Great Green Wall, initiated in 1978, with the goal of creating a living shield against sandstorms while restoring ecosystems. Planting trees in the desert is no easy task. The temperatures swing dramatically from 40 degrees in winter to over 100 degrees in summer, with strong winds burying seedlings overnight. Engineers developed creative solutions, like deeply buried drip irrigation bags to store moisture for months, funnel-shaped planting pits to collect dew, and drought-resistant trees like Saxaul red willow and desert poplar, which have deep roots reaching 60-90 feet underground to access water. By 2009, artificial forests covered an area of 193,000 square miles, twice the size of California, making it the largest man-made forest on the planet. A 2020 report showed that the Green Belt not only absorbed massive amounts of carbon dioxide, but also helped cool the region and reduce the impact of climate change. By 2022, the desert had shrunk by more than 770 square miles a year, signaling a historic turning point. Behind this achievement are millions of workers and volunteers, like Mrs. Yin Yusen, who spent 40 years planting over 74,000 acres of trees in the Gobi Desert. Their efforts have transformed the Gobi from a sandstorm machine into a symbol of environmental revival for Asia. But the work isn't done. West of the Gobi, the Taklamakan Desert in the northwest covers 130,000 square miles, with over 85% consisting of shifting sand dunes. In the early 2000s, sandstorms from this desert blanketed the region, sweeping into neighboring provinces, destroying roads and farmland. To combat this, China launched the Taklamakan Greenbelt project, similar to the Gobi Green Wall. Drought-resistant trees were planted in grid patterns to break the wind, and advanced irrigation systems were set up. Over the last 40 years, workers have created a 1,715-mile-long green belt around the desert. The most recent phase, which began in 2022, involved 600,000 people planting sand-holding trees. These new forests have not only stabilized the ecosystem, but also provided a new economic lifeline for local communities, who now harvest fire-resistant wood and medicinal plants from these desert areas. China's reforestation efforts are impressive, but they come with new challenges. China's rapid urbanization, with over 65% of the population moving to cities by 2024, requires vast amounts of sand, about 3 billion tons annually. However, desert sand is unsuitable for construction due to its round, fine grains. To meet the demand, China has been mining sand from rivers and freshwater lakes, especially Lake Poyang, China's largest freshwater lake. Sand mining operations have drastically lowered the lake's water level by 25% in less than 2 decades, resulting in the destruction of the aquatic ecosystem, a drop in migrating bird populations, and reduced fish stocks. The lake's role as a flood buffer has also been compromised, threatening over 1 million homes downstream. Despite bans on sand mining, the profits from this industry keep illegal operations thriving. This presents a paradox. While China fights desertification with one hand, it feeds its urbanization and construction needs with the other. To manage transportation across the desert, China built the Taklamakan Highway in 1993, cutting through the country's largest shifting sand desert. Originally used for hauling materials, it later became a vital route for residents and tourists. Keeping the highway open in such harsh conditions is a challenge. To combat shifting sands, rows of sand-blocking trees, large-scale irrigation, and maintenance sheds were established. The road is also China's first carbon-zero highway, with solar power plants and irrigation systems that save diesel and reduce carbon emissions. Over time, China expanded the highway system to include 3 main branches, making it a vital infrastructure project in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Beyond roads, China also built the Lint Railway, a 439-mile track with 90% of its length crossing desert land. Opened in 2009, the railway is an engineering marvel with over 180 bridges and 1,000 tunnels. To deal with the constant sandstorms, China established sand control centers and planted windbreaks along the route. The project demonstrates human ingenuity in overcoming extreme natural challenges. Another example of China's ambitious desert projects is the use of solar energy. The vast deserts provide ideal conditions for solar power, and China has capitalized on this by building massive solar farms. In the Gobi Desert, an 850-foot solar thermal power tower is surrounded by 12,000 mirrors that focus sunlight onto the tower, generating electricity. The plant, which has been operational since 2018, can produce 390 million kilowatt-hours of electricity annually, enough to power nearly 100,000 American homes. Unlike traditional solar panels, this system can store heat, allowing it to generate electricity even after sunset. In the Gobi Desert, China has created a 250-acre solar panel farm shaped like a galloping horse, generating over 2.3 billion kilowatt-hours of green electricity and saving millions of tons of coal. Looking toward 2050, China plans to expand its green belt further, aiming to create a massive green ring around northern China, covering an area the size of New Mexico and Arizona combined. To achieve this, China is turning to futuristic technology like artificial intelligence to monitor and maintain these forests. AI-powered systems will track moisture levels, wind speed, and plant health in real time, while solar-powered irrigation will ensure the survival of saplings during droughts. China's experience offers hope for other dry regions around the world, from Africa to the American West. The question remains, can the world learn from China's model and scale it up to combat desertification and climate change on a global scale?